Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am Arjun Rai. I have a 14 years experience in full stack development. Currently, I am working as a full stack developer in a top MNC company. Please do like and subscribe my channel. Now let's begin. Now, now you can imagine there is no C variable. So in this situation, what will be the value of C? Now commented in the C. So there in test object there is no C variable. So what will be the printout? So A is equal to 1, B is equal to true, and C is undefined as there is no property name C is defined in the test. So in this situation, we can use default value for object destruction. If we assign 0 in this case, any value. So in this case, we have assigned default value. If the property name is not exist in this object, we can assign any default value in the object destruction section. So now we can print out. You can say check that A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, and C is 0. As there is no property name is defined in the test object. So if the property name is exist, then what will be the C value? Then C value will be 23.45. Then 0 will not be assigned to C. Let's check. You can check that A is equal to 1, B is equal to true, and C is equal to 23.45. As C property name is exist in the test object, this 23.45 value is assigned to C, not 0. So this is the default value for the object destructuring method. Now let's discussion about the nested object destructuring process. So imagine there is one object inside of object. We have to define one object. We have given name example. Now define the data for this object. Similarly, we can define x is equal to 2, y is equal to false, and z equal to 45. So we have to extract also this object. So how to do that? We have one solution for this. We have nested object destruction process to achieve this. So now let's we have to define first we can define a comma b comma c, then there is example object, then we have to define x comma y comma z, then equal to object name, and then console.log x comma y comma z. Sorry, we have to define the same x comma y comma z. So now you can check that abc is the direct variable and xy is it inside of the example object, and example object is inside of the test object. So in this way we can access object inside of object. So for nested object destruction we have to define the object name, then we can destructuring this way. So you can access this value using nested object destruction process. Let's discuss about the array destructuring process using a function parameter. Let's imagine we have to send this test object inside in a function. In function parameter, we can destructure this object and use those variable inside the test object. So let's define one function, test function. So we have to call this test function with test object, and inside function parameter we have to destructure this way. Let's say comma b comma c, and we can print out those variables a comma b comma c. Now let's run. So if we send any object inside any function, we can use object destructuring process to extract object variable into single variable as a parameter, and we can use then. So this is the output 1, A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, and C is equal to 45.56. Let's say imagine we don't use C, then we only want to use A and B. Then what will be the output? A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2. So we don't use C variable inside of test. So in this way you can remove those variable that we don't need to use inside any function or inside. So in this way you can remove those variable. We are moving to the next topic. If we return any object from function, then we destructure this test object. So what will be the example then? Like we have to create one function, test function, and inside this function we have to create this and then return test, and we have to call this function test, and on the left side we have to do the destructuring procedure, object destructuring. So you have to define A, comma B, comma C. So in this way, we can also destructure any object that is returned from any function. Now print out this value console.log A, comma B, comma C. A, comma B, comma C. Now run. You can check that A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, and C is equal to 45.6. And now imagine we don't return this object. So what will be the value then? This is 0 simply, as there is no object is returning from this function, so it is not capable to destructure this variable uh, into variable. So we are not. So this is JavaScript error. So we have to define an empty object using array operator. So what is the syntax? In If there is test function do not return any object, then this empty object will be assigned to this object destructuring. Now let's run. So as test function is not returning any object, this empty object is assigned to this object destructuring, and as there is no value property name defined ABC is uh, so this value is undefined now. Now return this test, then check the what is the value. You can check that A is equal to again 1, B is equal to 2, and C is equal to 45.56. As test function is returning object, so there is no need to assign this empty object for for this object destructuring. So if this is the safe way to object destructuring for those function who returning which returning the object.